everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den and welcome to another video. This week I'm going to show you how to make this card. It's called a pull tab card and look at that, it just flips open. I've seen these done so many times and I've never made one, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do one of these. So this is my version. This one I did with the nothing like something or something like that, I can't remember. It was from a few years back now, with the coffee cups and everything. And this paper was from even older, from another coffee set called Latte. Oh no, it wasn't called that, it was called Coffee Cafe or something like that. But I'm going to do the new, using the new coffee one, which is the Latte Love. So I'm going to be using, and I've already stamped and cut out the coffee mug and the spoon. So I've done them too, like this. Ooh, look at that, there's my coffee mug. And it is the same size as that on there. And then the spoon. So I've done those, and I've also cut out, using these little dies which don't have a stamp to go with them, these little coffee cups. Whoops, ran the wrong way. These little coffee cups. So I've done some of those for my inside. I've got most things ready, I think. I didn't put that one on a block, so I will bring that out and pop that on my block when I'm ready to use it. So we are going to stamp in early espresso today. Oops, get back over there, stamp. Now I'm going to use a couple of punches that are actually retired, which is the classic label punch and the scalloped tag topper punch. But I will show you how you can do the same thing without those punches. So I will talk you through it if you don't have those. I did this one with the stitched square dies, but the one we're going to make today I'm doing with just cut edges, so that you can actually see how easy it is to do it without it. Let me put that on one side for a minute. Get up there. Well, it's not going to sit up there. I don't know where I was going to put that. How about over there? That sounds good. So we're going to use a bit of this ribbon, which is part of the Latte Love Suite, which is called Jute. I think it's called that. I don't know. Polka dot trim. So I used it on the other one, and I've also got some baker's twine in the essential pack. So I'm actually going to use a bit of that as well. So we do need quite a few bits and pieces, and it's optional extra, but I'm actually using some red liner tape as well, but you can just use normal tape or glue, but I'm going to use the red liner tape for mine. And you will need quite a few dimensionals or foam pads, whichever you use. So let me show you what you need. Let me put those coffee mugs out of the way and this coffee mug here out of the way. Alright, so let's go. What we need is a card base that measures 8 1/4 by 5 7/8. For the front of our card we need a layer, and I'm using Lost Lagoon and Early Espresso and Lost Lagoon. So this measures 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and then my coffee layer from the Latte Love DSP measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. For my insert, which I might as well measure that, which measures the same, 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and my white layer measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. For my pull tab, you need a piece of card that is 2 inches wide by 6 1/4 inches long. Now for my panels, on my thing I've put front panels and then under panels. So for my front panels you're going to need a piece of card that measures 2 5/8 by 2 5/8, and another piece in white that measures 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. You could make that a little bit wider if you wanted to. For my under panels, you're going to need a piece that measures 2 1/8 by 2 1/8, which is the same size as that, but that goes underneath. So that's why I've done it separately, because one's coloured and one's white. And then my square on top of that, which measures 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. Okie dokie, so that's everything we need. So let's start by moving all of them out of the way and bringing in my scoreboard. And I'm going to do both the pieces of scoring at the same time. So you're going to score your main card on the long side using the small ball at the 4 1/8 mark, or halfway. Then I'm going to bring in my pull tab and I'm going to place that on the long side, and I'm going to score that at 2 inches and 2 1/4 inches. And that's all the scoring we've got to do. So I will go through them again in a moment as we get down the track. So we've got our main card that is scored at 4 1/8. We're going to fold that in half and make that into a nice card shape, making sure that all the lines up nicely, top and bottom, and across the sides. Okay, so that's our main card. And we're going to bring in our main card pieces, and we're going to put our front layer 1 glued onto the front of here. We're not going to glue the two pieces together. And once again, my glue is all dried around here. It is freezing cold here today. My husband is sitting inside with the heater on already. It is freezing outside. It's crazy. Okay, so that's our first piece, and that's stuck to the front of the card, just as you would glue you normally. So now we're going to take our, I'm going to put my pin in my glue for a minute, my front layer 2, which is my DSP layer, and I'm going to show you on the back what you can do, but I am using the classic label punch. But if you don't have a classic label punch, all you need is a pencil and a ruler and a craft knife. And you need to just measure in, down approximately 1.5 inches, round about the middle, and make a mark. And then the same from the other end, about the 1.5 inch mark. And then about 2 inches in from the right hand side, which is this side, so it's the left hand side from you. So we're going to pop a mark there, and then we're going to just draw a line down through that. Let's do it from that side because I can see the marks. And we want this to be about 2 1/8 of an inch long, which it is, which is great. And then you would just get your knife and cut along that line, and then widen it out to be about 1/4 inch, so 1/8 of an inch either side of that mark to make a slot. So, but because I'm going to be using my punch, I'm going to pop this in here, and I'm going to bring that up to the same mark. Let's do it from this side, it's easier, I can see that mark. Alright, and I'm going to, there we go, going to cut that out, and as you can see, my pencil line is right down the middle of that. And oops, let's pop that out of the way properly. And as you can see, my pencil marks have all gone because this is that length. So you want that little bit wider part onto the right hand side. So as I say, I've done mine with the classic label punch, but if you don't have it, and it doesn't matter that that's rectangled off there, you just make that nice and neatly rounded, square on all of those. So that is ready to go onto the front. So now we're going to work on our other piece, which is our pull tab, which has got a bit of fluff on the end there. And you know me, and I don't like fluff. Okay, so we're actually going to, I'm going to actually punch this end with my scallop tag topper. But if you don't have one, again, just round the corners here on this end, which is the end furthest away from, you can't see that, furthest away from the 2 score lines, and just punch a hole in there so that you can poke your ribbon through. But because I've got my punch, I'm going to pop mine in here, making sure it's nice and even, and I'm going to punch that bit off. So I have mine ready like so. But as I say, if you don't have them, just use a nice corner rounder and punch a hole in the middle here to put your ribbon through. So once we've done that, we can now fold and burnish our score lines. And we want to make sure they're folded and burnished really, really well on both of them. And this will then sit through here, so we're going to feed that through. And as I say, if you have cut yours yourself, just check that that will fit through. If it doesn't, make it a little bit longer. It's, you know, it's, sorry about that, my memory card just filled up, so I had to go and get another one to finish off my project. Never mind, we're all good now. So as I said before, just make sure that that fits through there. If for some reason your space is not quite wide enough, just make it a little bit longer. So this is going to fit through here like so. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to leave that on one side for a minute, and we're going to work on our 2 pieces, our under piece and our top piece. So we're going to actually stamp on this one. So I'm going to find my stamp, and I'm going to just stamp here. And while I was doing that, I actually went and got my other block. I'm going to stamp, "You're the best part of my day," on my underside. And I think that's all I really want onto that piece there. So I'm actually going to just pop the lid back on that, and we will glue that to the underside one. So this is my underside, then this is the smallest square, and it goes on the medium sized square for the other bit. Now I'm going to pull this out of here again because I actually need to put my red liner tape on there. Now, if you are not using red liner tape, you don't need to worry about that. You can just put your glue on there when you're ready. But I'm going to put tape there, which is just a little bit stronger. So that's just me. But if you want to use normal tape or glue, that's fine too. Alright, so we're going to pop that back through there, and we're going to work out that that's what needs to sit in the middle, flat like so. We want it that way, sorry. We want to, so that is showing. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this large one over the top and make sure that it's fairly central. If it's fairly central, right, which it isn't, so we need to move it back that way a bit more because we want it fairly central. So that's fairly central. So I'm actually going to just pop my peg on there again so I can keep it fairly central while I glue this piece onto here. Well, actually that doesn't really matter, does it? Let me move that out of the way. It's a bit of a in the way thing. Alright, so I'm going to put my glue onto this piece here, and I'm going to glue not right up to that edge because I don't actually want it right up to that edge. And then I want to make sure that this is up the correct way, and it's going to sit on top of that fairly close to the edge but not right on it. Once we're happy with that, we can turn that over and whiz that on. Alright, so now I'm actually going to do this a little bit different than what I thought I was going to do it. So I'm now going to bring that in, and I'm going to pull my red liner tape off. using my trusty picker tool, if I can get it off. This is the only thing I don't like about the red liner tape. I do have trouble getting it off. Get off my finger. So now we want to stick this on so that the left hand edge is along that piece. So we can pull this out for a second. And we want it to be right along that edge. So let's move that over like so. And we want that left hand edge along that edge. Making sure that it actually covers this underneath. That's a much better way of doing it than the way I was trying to explain it to you, which is crazy. So now we can pop them back in, like so. And we know that when that's closed like that, that's going to be centralised. So we can open this up again, and we're going to glue this about halfway again. And close it over. Bringing that so that it is central in the middle of your card. Try not to make a mess like I have. And we can glue that down hard. So that when that, oops, you're supposed to glue it down hard, silly. Glue it down hard. There we go. Let's turn that over and give that a squishy wishy. We're really not doing too well considering, are we? Never mind. Alright, so once we've done that, we know that this will now pull like so. And that is what we want. So I'm actually going to wait for that to dry a tiny bit more. While that's drying, I'm going to turn this over and we're going to put a heap, and I mean a heap, of dimensionals onto the back. So I'm going to bring in, I've got lots of them here and lots of edges. So I'm going to use some of these edges, because this is a great way to use up your edges. So I want a piece that goes right along the bottom here and along this edge here. Yay, that's one pack out of the way. And then another one that I can do the same with, that I can put along this edge. And this has got one little one in it, would you believe? And some bits along here. Oh, come on, get off of there. I'll leave that one because it's got one little one on it. Let's see if I've got some more edges. Here we go, we've got some more edges here. So let's pop some more edges on. This is a great way to use up the edges, because you're actually using all the bits you don't need to see. I'll turn that around the other way. Okay, and another bit just there. Alright, so then I'm going to fill in the spaces with some of these other ones so that it's nice and high. You know, not high, but nice and even all the way around, because you want it to be nice and even. So once we've done that, while that's dried, we will now pull all these off and pop them in the bin, all those bits. Now we need to make sure when you're doing this that you don't put anything on this or close by it that may hinder it from moving. Oh, come on. I threw half of them on the floor, do you know that? You should see the side of my room. Okay, so now we're going to pop this onto the top, like so. Making sure it's down nice and thin. And we can see that that's going to move absolutely gorgeously. Flip, 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 flip. Okay, so I'm actually going to just glue this piece on because I'm not going to stamp on it. So I'm just going to glue this white piece on the top. Like so. And then I'm going to bring in my spoon and my whatever that's called. Why did I put them over there? another mug, and let's see if I've got some small ones here somewhere. I know I have, because I did see one only one on that one. So that's that bit done. And they're large. There we go. We've got some small ones here to put on the back of the spoon. Let's pop them onto the front of my card. Now, I haven't put a saying on the front of this card, but then I don't know that who I'm going to give it to or for what reason. So I'm actually not going to know. I'm going to put this on an angle, only because that's what I want. And then I'm going to put my spoon on when I pick it up off the floor. That wasn't very clever, was it? Oh, crazy person here today. The crazy lady here today, I think. So, and I'm going to pop my spoon on there like so. So that's the front of my card. We will do our ribbon and that next. So you need a piece of ribbon about 4 inches long. It doesn't have to be very long at all. So we'll just chop a piece off like so. Oops. And I'll need some glue dots for what I'm going to do. So if you are using the same punch as me and this same jute ribbon, this is a great way to hold it down. If not, you use what's available to you to make it work. So I'm going to put one little glue dot there, squish that one down, turn the whole card over and put another glue dot on the back. This will hold my ribbon in place, like so. What a lovely, and that looks okay just like that, but I wanted to put a bit of this jute ribbon around it as well, this baker's twine rather, sorry, around it. So I'm going to pull a piece off, oh I don't know, about 12-14 inches long, not a lot, just a little bit. And I'm going to pop that over there. I'm going to fold it in half so that we can see roughly how long it is. No, this is, oh, probably 22 inches long. Sorry, 22 inches long, because I've actually folded it in half and then folded it in half again. And then I'm going to tie this in a knot around here. So I'm going to tie that and then tie it again. Like so, and then I will just trim them so that they're all open. I will when I can get my scissors in there. Get in there. Oh, come on. And if they're too long, oh, they look a little bit long for me, but I don't like to make it so hard to tie knots with. So, except for my embellishments, that is the front of my card done, which we'll do the embellishments afterwards. So let's pop this on one side and bring in the insert. So for my insert, I'm actually going to stamp this again in Early Espresso. And I'm going to put hello there, let's catch up in the middle like so. And I did end up going and getting a block while I had to get another memory card, and I'm going to pop some splotches of coffee around. I'm going to put them in all 4 corners, because I've got 4 coffee mugs as well, which I'm actually going to put right next to them. So I will pop a white one, oh, that one goes there, a white one, a brown one and a Lost Lagoon one together, each side. On dot dot dot. Can't find my tweezers, there they are. So I'm going to pop that just over them. So I've got my tweezers now, so let me pop this on so it's easier. Oops. I'm going to pop that one down there. He just looks right just there. Ouch, I got my finger caught in that. I'm stupid. I'm really having a rough trot here, aren't I? That's okay. We all have bad days. Mine seems to be today. So that one I'm going to put up there so the cups look, you know, all over the place, a bit whimsical, as they say. And this one I will put down here. Alright, so now I've got my coffee cups on. I'm going to just turn that over and give it a good wipe down so that I know that it's going to be stuck nice and tight. And we'll pop this onto the inside of the card. I like to show you an inside of a card as well as just the outside. I know some demonstrators or people that are doing the videos only show you the outside of a card. I find for me it's a finishing off, and it gives people different ideas of what they can and can't do, or can do I should say, or what looks good on the inside of a card. What looks good to one person, again, is not always what looks good to the next. So just because I've done it, you might go, oh no, that's not for me. That's fine. Sounds like the horse is riding down the road again today. Okay, so that's the inside of my cup. Card, not cup. That's the outside. I'm not sure that I'm going to put another saying on there, but we have got some embellishments here, which are the lovely adhesive swirl dots. And I'm going to put the light ones on, I think. I think the real light ones or the medium ones. The light ones, I think. And actually I might put one of each. Yeah, that looks really good, one of each. Yep. Okay, so that's our card for today. Sorry it was a bit of a mishmash in the middle when my memory card decided that it didn't want to work anymore. It was full. I should have checked that before I started. Never mind. So this is our card, and it just pops open. Oh, I think it's gorgeous. I love the way that does that. And this is the other one, which I use the same ribbon and same idea there. And they do get, you know, easier as you go along. So this one's starting to get easier, but just also make sure that you don't put your dimensions where that's going to be, otherwise it won't move at all. So that's today's card, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's called a pull tab card. If you have enjoyed that, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any projects that I do. If you would like the written tutorial for this, head down to and you'll find the link to Die Stand for Stamping, Crafting and Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials on my Facebook group. The group is free to join. You just have to answer the questions. The name of this project on the YouTube video is exactly the same name on my Facebook group. So if you see this down the track, just look at the date, and whatever date this is dated, when you go to my Facebook group, you will just find under files, look for the same name with the same date, and they all are the same thing. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.